Good afternoon, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles.
Yes, it is. It's Jar of Marbles.
Well, thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Anyway, I'm so glad that you could all make it. How's it going? How's you? How's life treating you? I hope it's treating you well. And I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that we get to talk about lots of different subjects with the hope that it's helpful, confirming, entertaining, inspiring, or just something to listen to while you're doing something else. In true Jar of Marble fashion, many different subjects are discussed on the podcast, and today is no different. Following my intuition, I know the subject is important to a few of you. If you're listening, then it's for you. There's something here for you to realise, to watch out for, or do, or not. Sometimes we need only to hear a line, to see something done or said slightly differently, and it can be the answer we need. I love that.
Me too.
This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about being curious and focused. Curiosity can empower you or limit you.
Oh no, here we go.
All right, Bob. The combination of being both focused and curious is a powerful combination. I'm defining this combination with the unleashing of your curiosity on a particular task. I often refer to it as having that childlike freedom and curiosity just to ask questions, to play around with something, to see how it works. Exploring with different angles, something that maybe you wouldn't normally consider, reading and researching different approaches to what you want to investigate more about. Maybe it's something you want to do or just something you want to know about, while looking for ways to transfer the knowledge back into your main task. I like to start something, in this case, say, writing a podcast. So starting something that I have initially zero idea of what I'm going to do or write about, etc. But as time goes on, it turns out that there's usually plenty to say. You'd never know.
You'd never guess.
Oh, shut up, Bob. So many angles. Sometimes I find I know more than I realised, or I have more opinions than I realised as I start reflecting on experiences. But in reality, it is my intuition. It is following an invisible path and putting out there what comes to mind. By moving the chess piece forward, you find an effective way to write more into your day, into your life. In this case, writing an episode in the podcast, and you, whatever it is that you are considering doing or are already doing, even more challenging when, say, I receive an email asking if I talk about a specific subject. Depending on what it is, I have to have a purposeful think about it. And I tell you what, that really lights up my curiosity.
You're not kidding.
I know, Bob. So I had to do a bit of research about where in the brain activates curiosity. It turns out that, because you know how much I love the brain.
Yeah, we know.
Several areas of the brain, particularly the regions known as the substantia nigra, ventral tegmental area, and the hippocampus, are activated by curiosity.
Really?
Yes, Bob. The dentate gyrus, a part of the brain's hippocampus, is the centre most responsible for our sense of curiosity. Connectivity between these same regions are associated with learning. In the research, it showed that curious minds show increased activity in the hippocampus, which is involved in the creation of memories. Curiosity is triggered by significant prediction errors that are appraised, and this cycle enhances memory encoding through increased attention, exploration, and information seeking.
So interesting.
It actually is, Bob. I'm a great believer. If you understand the brain, or at least how your brain works, you can make it work for you. Very, very interesting, and something that I would really advise. Give it a go. So say if you're searching widely for information, this is where your curiosity can get sparked by so many interesting facts and ideas that your attention can get ruptured. Anyone with curiosity is always searching, and sometimes we don't always know for what. We can have vague ideas or looking to find something to focus on. If you have an idea, take heart. It is really hard. It is not easy if you truly have no idea what direction you want to go with. For example, hashtag get curious and focused. You've scooped lots of ideas, fantastically curious about everything it would seem, but not focused. The subjects may not be related and there's no segue to be seen. It is said that strong curiosity is a sign of mental health. good mental health. There are many ways to cultivate curiosity, such as revisiting childhood joys or doing something unexpected. Curiosity is a powerful tool that can help us learn and grow in many ways. According to a study by psychologists, curiosity enhances intelligence, increases perseverance, and propels us toward deeper engagement, superior performance, and more meaningful goals. In fact, strong curiosity is a sign, as I say, of really good mental health. If you're looking to become more curious, here are some tips to get started. Ask more questions. Asking questions is a really great way to learn more about the world around you. Try to ask open-ended questions that encourage discussion. Another would be embrace the unexpected. Try new things and explore new places. You just never know what you might discover. Be an active listener. This is such a powerful one. When you're talking to someone, try and be aware enough to just really listen to what they're saying, ask follow-up questions, and show genuine interest in their ideas. Read widely. Reading is a great way to learn about new topics, expand your knowledge, and try to read books and articles and audio, of course, on a variety of subjects, and maybe on subjects that you wouldn't normally be drawn to. It's quite interesting how we can broaden our interests without even realising that we are interested in that. Stay focused. When you're working on a task, try to stay focused and avoid distractions. This will help you stay engaged and interested in what you're doing. Remember, curiosity is a skill that can be developed over time. I love that. And by practicing these tips, you can become a more curious and engaged person.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Good luck with that. I think that's fantastic. So you might be asking, what are some benefits of being focused? How can I stay curious in my daily life? Can curiosity be harmful sometimes?
Well, yeah, didn't curiosity kill cats?
No, Bob, that's a saying.
Oh,
Curiosity killed the cat, Bob. It's a proverb used to warn of the dangers of unnecessary investigation or experimentation.
like Don't Be Nosy.
Well, it implies that being curious can sometimes lead to danger or misfortune. The original form of the proverb, now rarely used, was care killed the cat. In this instance, care was defined as worry or sorrow for others.
It's one of my favourite activities, being nosy.
Good on you, Bob. I found 6 benefits to being curious. 1, curiosity helps us to survive.
Oh, this will be good.
The urge to explore and seek novelty helps us to remain interested in novelty, to gain knowledge, to find stuff out. It feels good, which may be why our brains evolved to release dopamine and other feel-good chemicals when we come across new things.
Oh, I quite like that. You agree with that?
I'm very happy about that, Bob.
Yeah, I thought you might be.
Shush. Research shows that curious people are happier. Curiosity to be associated with higher levels of positive emotions, lower levels of anxiety, and we like that, more satisfaction with life.
Oh, I like that.
Me too. And greater psychological well-being.
That makes sense. If you're interested in something, you're busy.
Oh, that's right, Bob. Of course, it may be at least partially that people who are already happier tend to be more curious, but since novelty makes us feel good, it seems likely that it goes the other direction as well. Curiosity boosts achievement. Studies reveal that curiosity leads to more enjoyment and participation in school and higher academic achievement, as well as greater learning, engagement and performance at work. And also with contemplating learning new skills at any stage of your life, aside work, you're enjoying your people much more, your family, your friends, all your relationships. It may seem like common sense, but when we are more curious about and interested in what we are doing, it's easier to get involved, put effort in and do well. It's a walk in the park.
I also like long walks on the beach and parks.
Thanks, Bob. Curiosity can expand our empathy. When we're curious about others and talk to people outside our usual social circle, in lines at the supermarket or a casual chat at the bus stop, we can better understand those with lives, experiences and worldviews that are different from our own. I've always enjoyed talking to people from different cultures and who have different ideas about things. We don't have to agree. It's just interesting and broadens your views. If we can suspend our own thoughts and enter into another's world, it can be be so interesting, if nothing else. Next time you have the chance to talk with a stranger, especially someone who might be quite dissimilar to you, try engaging with them on a personal level, respectfully, of course, and showing them that you are interested in what they have to say. Another is curiosity helps strengthen relationships. One study asked strangers to pose and answer personal questions, a process scientists call reciprocal self-disclosure. They found that people were rated as warmer and more attractive if they showed real curiosity in the exchange, while other variables like the person's social anxiety and their levels of positive and negative emotions did not affect the partner's feelings of attraction and closeness. This implies that demonstrating curiosity towards someone is a great way to build your closeness with them. Another one, curiosity improves your health. Research suggests that when doctors are genuinely curious about their patients' perspectives, both doctors and patients report less anger and frustration and make better decisions, ultimately increasing the effectiveness of treatment. This goes without saying. In recent times, I've found an empathetic doctor myself, and what a blazing difference it makes. It does, doesn't it? It does, Bob. Curiosity is a powerful quality in every person. It's what drove famous scientists to discover everything we know today, from penicillin to atomic radiation.
Yeah, but what about the zip?
What about the zip?
That's a mighty invention.
It is, Bob. You know what? Many inventors were a part of the creation of the zip, and it was a Swedish-born electrical engineer named Gideon Sundback. He was born in 1880, died 1954, whose work helped make the zipper the hit that it is today.
I have many curious thoughts and questions.
I know, Bob, which is great. I love that about you.
Curious George the monkey, isn't it?
Correct, Bob. Monkeys are notoriously curious. Thank you. Anywho, thought this was curious. The patent for the fire hydrant was lost in a fire.
Well, pickle me green.
And there are so many peculiar things to know in life. I find it interesting. I'm very curious about everything, it would seem.
Well, I've heard peculiar things about sloths.
Well, did you know that sloths can hold their breath longer than a dolphin?
How curious.
It is, considering they can from 8 to 10 minutes and some even 15 minutes.
Why would sloth hold their breath, though? Are they seeking, a game of hide and go seek or something like that?
Well, in fact, they can sit very still and hold their breath so the predators can't hear them. I had no idea that a sloth could hold its breath at all. I hear you, Bob.
That's super weird.
No, I think it's amazing.
Well, yes, that too.
Because sloths have very slow metabolism. They can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes, which makes them really capable swimmers, aside being really good tree climbers. They have a lot of predators, so they may have to stay underwater for an extended time so the predators, can't see them.
I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah, me too, Bob. I'm not sure that you did, but okay. # get curious and focused. The thing that has stood out to me the most is the curiosity factor. When I am curious about something, an enormous amount of focus slips into place. When you're curious about something, you're way more inclined to find out everything you can about whatever it is or who it is, whether it's a business, a person, if it's a new relationship, a puzzle. I think one creates the other, forces the other to the surface.
Me too.
I thought so, Bob. If you're genuinely curious, you'll be focusing on getting solutions and ideas. That innate desire to learn about those things that we are interested in drives our brain to focus with such tenacity that it becomes so much easier to learn. I think about my grandson and how fast he's absorbing information. His vocab is increasing, and I would reason that he's insanely curious about everything. Watching him go through such rapid learning with open curiosity and focus made it easier to see that they are one and the same. I believe losing the desire to being curious would be detrimental to anyone's life. If you have trouble focusing, I would advise get more curious, full stop. You just got to get more curious. I reckon people lose their curiosity in formal education settings because mostly it is just learning facts, and for most of us it is simply a massive yawn. I know I wasn't very interested in school. I think if I had the curiosity and the focus that I have now and have had for a number of years, I would have done so well, but I was bored out of my brain. And so anyway, here are some tips to help you get and stay focused. Get rid of distractions. But how do you focus? You may be wondering, how do you focus in this wildly distracting world? Everything screams for your attention, doesn't it? Phone messages and notifications, the flow of constant demands and requests at work, advertisements that are no longer only on billboards, but they're also on your favourite social media channels. What you speak about turns up on your phone all ready for you to make a purchase. I mean, I remember when all that started happening, me and my girlfriend were both looking at each other going, really? We thought it was just awful. It was so invasive, and we started putting our phones deep in our handbags, so we just sort of felt like we weren't even having a private conversation anymore, which we weren't. But anyway, the world has become incredibly noisy, and your ability to focus has never become more valuable. So it says here, to drink coffee in small doses. Really, I'm not really too sure about this, but I love coffee, and the purists are going to hate this, but I had to go out and find a delicious decaf because I was having, some, well, they thought at the time heart issues, and that it was like no coffee, but if I could find a decaf, I could have that, which I did, and then I found by chance and great fortune a fantastic coffee and no more palpitations. Let me tell you, if you've never had those, you don't want to. Then my cardiologist, said that was okay, but mind you, I did too. So we were both happy with that. So another one would be put a lock on social media.
I'm not sure I'll cope.
Well, I know, Bob, but it's just if you are on it all the time and being drawn into it, which is how it's designed, and boy, oh boy, it's terrible. I mean, it happens to me all the time. Another one is fuel your body. Eating really well with nutritious food is just such a game changer again. If you know, you know. Getting enough sleep.
Yeah, if I don't get enough sleep, I'm hopeless.
Oh, yeah, me too, Bob. Set a SMART goal. SMART, S-M-A-R-T, is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and time-bound. It is a framework that helps guide goal setting and just make sure that your goals are clear, realistic and meaningful. Be more mindful is another.
I'm trying more and more to be more mindful.
I know, I'm watching you, Bob, and you're doing a really good job. Mindfulness practice is a way to gently retrain the mind to settle into the present moment. Now, if you're not doing that, that's just going to sound like a whole lot of gobbledygook. It does, doesn't it? Go, present moment, what could that be? What? It involves being attentive to the present moment and navigating experiences without judgment. By practicing mindfulness over and over with patience and compassion for yourself, you can teach the mind to be still.
But how do you focus?
If you're unable to focus, there is one thing I think we could all look at and consider doing. As I said, it's just put down the phone. It's easy. It's not easy. I find it scary that a phone is dictating terms and conditions to me. I fall into the trap at times and I get quite annoyed with myself that I can't get on with my life in a meaningful way because I can't pull away from the phone. It's not even that in that moment that I'm aware that I can't pull away. I'm deep in there, and then when I pull myself out of it, I go, I've just lost 40 minutes. It's not on. So another thing I've noticed, parents walking down, the footpaths, pushing their prams with their face in a screen, hunched over the pram handles, glued to their phone screens. It's kind of disturbing looking. And also, so many do it. It's been normalised because so many do it. It looks matrix glitchy to me, something really off about it. It's not often I see heads up high interacting with their babies, their little ones, missing valuable cues. Because their faces are in a phone screen, I just think that just can't be a good thing. I mean, there's always going to be a reason, like you've got to ring someone urgently, or it might be your way of relaxing, etc. But when I'm out with my grandson, and have been since his birth, and I've noticed this at parks and other walkways, I was just getting geared to say hello to people, and it became awkward because I still say hello anyway. Some didn't even know that we were there. Old people too, first thing they do, grab the phone, look up things, checking God knows what as they have their coffee for the morning, or stop in the middle of a car park where people are driving in and around them. It's everywhere. In any waiting area, doctor's surgeries, choose one and look around. Everyone heads down with their face in a screen. We've chosen technology over being present. We don't want to be present, and the masses in general are in agreement with not being present, not being observant, and locking everyone out. No age group is immune. It takes conscious thought to not be like everyone else.
Oh, I want to be an individual.
Oh, good on you, Bob. And to want to be like everyone else, in this instance, I'd have to say, geez, why? It's nothing to aspire to.
Oh, no, I don't want to be like that.
No, but me neither, Bob. So many of us are stuck in realities that actually are not real and are not providing anything that is worthwhile to your life and is lasting. They are quick fixes, and not everyone wants to do the work of feeding their mind with experiences that actually then enhances every area of their lives. But many of us do, though. So being curious and focused, if this was undertaken, your life would change in ways that only you could experience in order to believe it. Talk about not being focused. This morning I was off to the shower to wash my hair. Now, my hair is quite long, so it's a bit of a job. Well, it feels like that when you're not in the mood. Well, that's where it all kind of went wrong. I grabbed my shampoo, my hair mask, the old super duper conditioner. All good. We're just about home and hosed. We're on the home straight there, about to finish rinsing out the last part of the hair mask, enjoying the natural scents of the geranium, thinking, gee, that smells familiar. Use this mask all the time, so of course it's familiar. It had an off sort of consistency to it now that I thought on it. So I grabbed the tub of hair mask only to find that it was buttery body butter for the legs. I know. I mean, oh my God. I know. Immediately I think, well, I hope I've just discovered a fan-bloody-tastic conditioner for the hair.
Well, it could happen.
Well, it could. But, it's not the first time, any of us have, done something only to find that it could be actually handy for something else. But the long and the short of it is I washed my hair again, conditioned it with the run-of-the-mill conditioner, and hey presto, the hair did come out actually extra moisturised. The moral of the story, get that leg action in your hair, enjoy very but not overly so moisturised hair. So that's it for me this week.
What? I was just getting comfy.
That's okay, Bob. We'll be back in a flash. It would seem so many of us are focused on our work, our career to a larger degree, appear to be curious for work's sake, but they're not applying that curiosity to our very important personal lives, our home lives, our lives. I hope someone heard this. I mean, really heard this. I hope you enjoyed this week's offering. I look forward to seeing you next week.
I sure do too.
So say g'day to the family for me, give the slug a wave, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, bye.
Bye-bye.